Hello. Morning, good afternoon, happy Saturday. Hi Seb. Welcome, long time no see. I'm good, man. How have you been? Man? Long time. Happy to see that you are still trading. Yeah, we're going to look at repo if you want to. Yeah, busy week, huh? With non-farm payroll and whatnot. A lot of opportunities in the market. Market is volatile. Dollar confirming a little bit more of this potential retracement. I'm not going to call it reversal, but retracement at least. And I believe it finally print a bearish candle, no? Yeah, there you go. Finally print a weekly bearish candle. So it stopped the bullish streak in here in terms of the weekly time frame. It stopped. They're still there trading. That's great, man. That's good, man. That's good to know. Have you been disciplined? Have you managed to be on track of everything that we have talked before? It's been a long time. We need to catch up on that. Repo. Okay, let's just take a look straight away at repo. Alright, let's have a different start in here. Let's look at repo. What do you make of it? What do you want to... What's your bias in here? What are you looking for? Did price respected it or not? I think it took it. Okay. It's respecting from this level. Did it touch it though? Yeah, I'm just trying to understand where we are in the bigger picture first and foremost. Actually, maybe a good exercise to see what I look at in a naked chart. Yeah, that one, basically that one kind of reacted from there. Yeah, left still the zone behind, so that will be a nice, eventually a good level to go to. Somewhere in there. Nevertheless, price may have reached its target, which was this move in here. So all that is good. This one is respected. That one. Yep, that one kind of basically respected that one, so that's okay. Took it. Yeah, left shoulder in there as well. So all that. This doesn't draw. Oh, that is good. David, man. Nah, I just started. I literally just started the stream. Seb, what do you make of it? What are you looking for on in here? Are you bullish? Are you bearish? Is it long time frame? Like what time frame are you looking for? What are you looking here? Did price reacted from it? Yes or no? Yeah, this might be okay. This might be a little bit underneath there as well. Meanwhile, kind of broke that high. That kind of takes it, or kind of can lead a little bit more to the upside. They have maybe all these left. Why this doesn't draw? May have all these left shoulders in here. Basically, price already faked out into there, into this level in here. So price eventually could go all the way down in here, which now price actually already retested this level in there. Yep, we touch it exactly in here, touch it in there. So that's done as well. We do have this demand zone still kind of left behind, which takes it into this left shoulder in there, kind of those lows which can be taken eventually. It could be taken into this level, into something in here that price could eventually go somewhere in there, taking these lows and into something in there, whatever it may be. You can be more precise if you change time frames. Nevertheless, this demand was still fresh, so because these lows, as you can see, they didn't touch the zone, so these lows kind of were there to be taken, and no surprise that price actually went to this, it went to this supply in here where it reacted from, right? So no surprise with that. Interesting enough, we did manage to take these highs, therefore we maybe can be seen this an engulf upwards. A lot of this has been compressed. That left shoulder has been taken already by this one. All right, it touched that one, almost basically that one, which is still the supply in here. Right, so that's been taken. Now price slightly took this high, still within the supply, but I could see that one as an engulf upwards. So eventually I would like to see this ripple going a little bit more to the upside. What else do we have in here? Yeah, now question mark, is this the level? Is this kind of the bottom, or this price wants to go slightly lower, maybe into this level or even then the extreme before going higher, right? So that will be one of the question marks in here. Again, you can basically turn this one already into left shoulder in there. It was just faked out, which maybe price eventually wants to go and retest something in here, something in there as well. We can now start changing time frames to even go to into lower time frame in there. Right, so basically from the top, right, what we have is that this demand zone, the origin of this move, that's target reached. Maybe there's something in here underneath. Again, we don't really know this on the weekly time frame. So that has been taken somewhere in here. Maybe there's a view in there that's been taken. We do leave this demand zone behind. So maybe, yeah, maybe this will already reacted from there, question mark. Nevertheless, we do have this one behind. Price now reacted from it. This was never touched it. Yes, we do have that level. Price went all the way up. It dropped. Yeah, continuation in there. So yeah, it reached its target basically from the move down towards that level. So that's a valid zone. Price doesn't really need to go below that to continue to go higher at this point, or kind of to challenge this level again. Maybe in there could be an interesting zone. Yes, price moves upwards and now kind of break this structure, react a little bit from support resistance, but then starts to keep respecting this level in here. And meanwhile, we kind of have that fake out. Price now creates this demand, price reacts from it, goes higher. Now leaves this demand zone behind, which price basically doesn't really touch it. So it leaves this zone a little bit underneath there. And we respect this level, so this can actually be a little bit something like that could happen. Nevertheless, now we have maybe this structure somewhere in here that can still hold price. This is looking at the weekly, monthly, yeah, monthly, whichever kind of the extremes in there, they are my favorite levels. Yeah, but that can take a lot of time for price to get there. I'm not into crypto. Yeah, so yeah, I'm just literally looking and analyzing based on PA, nothing else in here. So yeah, first levels to be broken, maybe something in here that needs to eventually be taken to open doors more to the upside, which may happen. Again, I'm still aware of this level that can actually lead price to wants to go higher on the way down. Maybe some levels in there, support resistance basically, maybe it's missed in here, some reaction there, some reaction in there, we'll see. Is this a level? Is this kind of the low where price wants to go to, or price could go a little bit higher, then push a little bit more lower to downside and there before kind of moving higher? Yeah, perhaps. Right, lower time frame for hour, we're now starting to have all these highs in here, so they start to become quite interesting for a potential fake out. We do have this supply in there. Something in there that could eventually be used just above all these highs, so that could be interesting to look for. Nevertheless, we do have kind of this one as well, just to look for it, and then kind of have the other one just above it, just to go there. Yeah, maybe still fresh, just a few zones in here to look for. We did manage to take this low, kind of price then eventually could go higher again. I think taking these highs eventually can be interesting, and price can maybe still make another attempt to go lower first. Yeah, kind of price is respecting this trend line, so yeah, just as long as it respects. Of course, this demand zone is now the the most recent barrier of price in order to be able to go down. So as long as it respects this level, may continue to go higher. We can go even more time frame and so on and so forth. And the process is going to be the same, being more precise on when actually price is reacting from. So you can see how beautiful this level was. Now you can actually make it smaller and to see exactly where price reacted from. Now I can maybe a little bit more underneath there, where eventually price can go to as well. And yeah, it can just keep going like this all the way through. So I don't really know what time frame you're looking for, or what's your bias, or what you're looking in here. I'm just mentioning a few levels that you may need to pay attention to. A possibility of fake out this level and still maybe push a move to the downside. You can even maybe try to break this wall first, then kind of take the highs maybe into something in there and kind of make another move to the downside just to push it a little bit lower, which can challenge this wall again, or even all the way towards there before maybe making another move higher, which that level is still fresh in here. So yeah, something just to consider. Yeah, or even eventually the extreme of the extreme. Again, I don't like this high. I think this one can makes it quite bullish for the future. Whenever price eventually turns, I think price can eventually go and challenge maybe 1 or something like that. So we'll see. For time frame, again, it's whatever price is doing in here. We have that demand, maybe a few levels in here below that. Yeah, that's basically my take on this. Yeah, there you go. Just a few ideas to look for. All right, so now we are starting. That was a parenthesis. Seb, again, it depends maybe what you're looking for. I know that you're maybe a bit more intraday. Intraday, just trade between those. Just trade between those two levels. And yeah, hopefully the drawing is still here. Yeah, you have this high, you have this low, kind of to trade in between that. Supply respected in there. Yeah, just trade in between. I think price may go a little bit lower. For now we have this demand zone in here as well. Yeah, so that's what it is. The dollar index, right? So there you go. First week of October is gone. Non-farm payroll yesterday much better than expected. Now the 300 and something thousand new jobs being created, which keeps the labor market quite tight, which continues to maybe give one last chance of another hike for the Fed in the next meeting 1 month from now, basically 1st of November. We'll see what may happen. Looking at price action, right? So, and what you're looking for in here on the dollar, we talked about it, right? 1 second. Okay, so drinking my coffee. Dollar index. Last Saturday we talked about it, like we had these highs being created in here and price was somewhere in there, like it did manage to break or to close above or close by somewhere in there. 2nd of October, yeah, somewhere in here. And we talked about, what did we talk about? So like we mentioned that Euro in the dollar index was maybe reacting from an okay high. Euro on the other side, I didn't really like the high or the lower the euro was reacting. Like, so I wouldn't be surprised if there was indeed another move higher on the first and foremost move lower on the euro dollar, and eventually potential move higher as well on the dollar index. Right. So again, initially we were reacting from in here, which definitely is a good level. But definitely, if price want to continue to go slightly higher, that would be also a hypothesis, a chance, and we start looking for price to go above all these highs in here. Okay, there was literally this clean supply that was still fresh in there, a little bit in alignment with this, all this kind of previous structure in there. But yes, this queen supply in there that was still fresh, none of these lows, none of these highs reacted from it. That was exactly what we were looking for next after price took these highs. Above this, I think everything has been taken, so basically price eventually, or dollar index eventually could then, if it wants to create a new high now, it eventually can challenge this one as a next level. Like, and that's basically what we've been talking about throughout the week. Like, as soon as we saw it on Monday, the move to the upside, quite a lot of momentum. Price broke above it, and we started then to print. We started to print some initial reversals. What did I mention also about? If I didn't, I should have, because usually that's something to pay attention to. What usually needs to happen as well when you're looking for a potential reversal in the market, or it is some kind of retracement. Price doesn't really just goes up, creates a high, kind of goes down. Like that usually doesn't really happen like this. Like you're going to need to create some kind of go up. You create kind of that first high, and usually can have some kind of momentum to the downside. It may look like a top, but you need to create some kind of high that eventually needs to be faked out, right? Some kind of high that will need to be created or be attracted to accumulate liquidity just next to it, so that you can finally use it to turn. It's going to be rare. That's going to be just a strong move to the upside and kind of, there you go. It's just in a V shape like this, right? It's going to be, you need to create some kind of left shoulders before you have kind of the head of the pattern to be created, and eventually kind of have the turn to occur, because even then this level can actually be a really interesting level to look for a sell in there as well, right? So that's just something to keep an eye on. Anytime you see kind of a big momentum to one direction, then all of a sudden price just turning, there's a high probability that this level is going to be challenged at least one more time. Either create a double bottom, that doesn't really happen as much, but there is a high probability that the price, even if it is just a little bit, is going to be faked out in there. And that's basically now what we have in here, right? And that's why we started to build up a little bit more of a confidence that this level could start being a nice reversal. Then we had more patterns in here, right? We start breaking lows, we start actually breaking first this low already in here, kind of taking the orders from this demand zone that was still being created in here. Like we also mentioned about that specific level that you need to pay attention to in order to look for a potential reversal or kind of a breakout. So that level has been taken. Meanwhile, we are starting to break the first lows in here, and then we create a new high, and then finally, I think this fake out actually happens first, and only afterwards we had the move down, right? So that's something that, it first went down, went up, and then kind of created, we finally break structure here, even though kind of this is already kind of a break of structure, and then the rest is history, right? On the dollar index, and it's a nice pattern for reversal. So that's where our bias has been since we start to create this momentum, and in alignment with the high reacting from that zone on the left side in here, right? So that's something that we're looking for as well, and that's basically what we start look ahead for the remaining of the week. Like we define the target, basically this range that you can see in this right rectangle, that will be the range, initial range that we'll be looking for in the dollar index as a target for the sales. Okay, it will be to fill all of this with special attention also for this level that was still fresh, and you did have a little bit of a reaction from it even in there as well, like during the NFP, and then kind of it just turned all the way down. Now price is still respecting this low. I'm expecting price to actually go to that level, and I wouldn't be surprised if, again, this is going to be the key level to look for, to see if you're going to respect this and kind of challenge higher, or eventually break to the downside, and you have now a deeper retracement, which then maybe takes you towards there. Okay, now a few things that were important, right? So yesterday there were two levels that we were looking for potential shorts on the NFP, on the dollar index, right? So initially the move to the upside, okay, perfect, price reacted nicely from there. We paid attention to all this deep compression that we had the day before, so there was a high probability that price will just fill that space quite quickly. And then there were two levels. Paying attention as well that you had broken this high slightly, showing indication that price will want to go slightly higher eventually, right, into few watt space, right? This will be one of those, and then kind of that one, it will be the next one in here. So like, we're still considering this range because price never really closed or went to the extreme of this middle range, and that was something that we're still looking for. We already had broken below, even created slightly new low, so price could just reacted from that upper zone in here and move to downside. Similar zone on the euro dollar where euro actually reacted from as well, right, which goes in alignment a little bit with this previous support resistance, just if you look at the bigger zone in here, right? So basically you have one zone in there, and basically you would have kind of the other kind of rectangle in here, and there you go, right? The coincidence of yeah, matching both zones in here, and that's basically where the dollar index reacted from in here. Now the next level to be in here, right? That's still fresh, everyone can see it, or even the extreme a little bit more in there, still into that level. So this is actually a good point, right? Because what you want to see as well when you're looking for potential reversals or big reversals in the market, if by any chance this wants to be the top for now on the dollar index, it's important to exactly to do that, right? For price to actually still manage to respect the zones kind of in the middle and leaving an extreme level behind. So what I mean is, in this particular case, sorry, if by any chance dollar index still managed to break this low and kind of start showing or giving more bearish signs, if by any chance then decides to make a deep retracement, there's still this opportunity to look for a sell. Like we still have this important level in there. Again, depending on where maybe this wall is going to be reacting to on the left side, this value here can still be played out as a sell. Of course, depends on the approach and so on. Price maybe can still respect this level, which is now created kind of a zone in there as well. Price can definitely maybe respect here after taking these zones, create kind of a little bit of obstruction, eventually you can fake out into there and then move down, right? So that would be kind of a typical PA that we could see happening around this structure. So something that I wanted to say is exactly that. So when you do see that reversal, it's good to see that price actually kind of still respects something in the middle and leaves kind of an extreme behind, which is still fresh, because that still makes it even more bearish. Because even if price, again, if that's there, there's still a chance to look for a sell and for price to push once more to the downside. If that level has already been taken, that makes it more weaker. If price mentions starts reversing and going higher, then there is a less likelihood that price maybe would still be respected in there. Therefore, we may actually then challenge and create a new high before aiming to make a new low. That's basically what you're talking in here. All right, what you see is only crypto down, not checking it so far. All right, volatility is okay. For the trade with stop loss to protect my back. I think it's in a random in a long. Right. Yeah, we'll look at Ripple in a bit again. DXY made an imbalance between 106. What is 106? 663. Somewhere in here. And 106.528. Somewhere in there. Is this what you are looking for? Yeah, maybe that's what you're looking for. Yeah, we'll see. We'll see where eventually. Yeah. Yeah, we'll see. First and foremost, I will still look at this level. Like this is kind of the new barrier in there that you need to look for. And then we'll see. Like if that's where eventually price wants to go to. Basically, we're talking about these two levels maybe. We do have kind of a little bit of this zone in there. Yeah, it depends. I don't really tend to look at the balances like that. Yeah, it can go there maybe. Yeah, do have kind of this level, kind of be respected. Then price kind of didn't really win that much, just broke again. Yeah, we'll see what the dollar index is going to do in between here. If by any chance price does want to still go all the way towards there, which actually I like it. It looks like that this high has left it behind. yeah, right. So eventually in the future, for example, this level can still even be used. Price can actually respect it quite nicely, even somewhere in there or in here, something like that. Create a little bit of a double top based on this level before then eventually aiming towards there, right? So I would like to see some initial reaction from here, eventually price going there. Yeah, so we'll see. It's going to be interesting now how price is going to open on Monday, if there's going to be any momentum to the downside or if price is going to respect somehow this structure. Going below that, then you can start looking for a bit more to the downside, maybe all the way until here, right? So this is still kind of the level in there, kind of the previous level of resistance. That's basically where price is getting really close to. Yeah, so interesting to see what may happen in here on the dollar. Indices, right? So looking at the S&P as well, right? So we're looking for price to initially respect the upper range of the zone, right? And now went a little bit more deep into the demand level, a little bit in here. Didn't really touch it, but maybe in the lower time frame we can maybe see where actually that level was respected, and we start looking for reversals, right? We start paying attention to why is this not holding. Why is the chart not holding in here? Basically, this already happened, everything. Why are you not holding? What the heck is this? Oh well, no clue what's going on in here. Basically, price came all the way to this demand zone. I don't know why this is not holding. I have no clue. I don't have any reply. I don't have anything. What other S&P can I use? All right, let's look at this one instead. Which makes it a bit tricky. Yeah, this one has more gaps. Yeah, this one makes it so tricky. I have no clue, honestly. Whatever. Okay. This one then. Yeah, bottom line was that there was that zone in there, like that demand zone in here that was basically fresh. What price did in between all of this was basically price came all the way down, respected double bottom, went higher, created a little bit of a range in here, created a range, and just before the NFP, it took the highs. Okay, it took that level, it dropped all the way during the NFP news, kind of pausing here, reacted from that level, and then moved higher. Like, and that's basically the price action that we saw, maybe a little bit more range in here. That's basically what we saw on the S&P, and yeah, that was another big clue for anyone that is trading news and to pay attention to, like that break of a high just before the news, that's which even move upwards. Like if you have a double, triple, 4 highs in a row without price breaking it, and it just does it just before the news, that's usually kind of a bullish sign. It's in particular if you have the demand zone that is still fresh, as it was in this particular case, and you had a clear double bottom created in here, that price then will just fake out into that level and continue higher, right? So that was a great piece of price action that we saw, that NFP, that S&P created with NFP, which is perfect, right? So again, this is, if you want to understand the clues and the price action around this news, you can see what price is doing even before the news, or kind of in between the news as well. Yeah. If I consider that there will be a last whip to the DXY going up and chopped, yeah, again, it might, for example, that level behind at the highs on the DXY, it may be left behind, maybe for the NFP, maybe for the FOMC in a few weeks from now. Maybe we're going to have a little bit of a correction for a few weeks now, and eventually price will go back there. It's going to happen straight away. We're going to have CPI this week. Not really sure now if it is Wednesday or Thursday. It's going to be an interesting one to see, right? At this point, I'm just aware of maybe a few levels that I want to pay attention to, and I need these walls to be broken to give me more of a bearish sign in here at this point on the index. That's kind of a little bit of what I'll be looking for. Yeah, 438. Yeah, that's all the way through. Yeah, right. So yeah, more above. Like basically, this is what S&P did, and it was a really nice one. And we are looking for kind of this range at this point. Okay, so again, similar to dollar index, maybe there's still kind of this level in here, just above this size that price can maybe still respect it. But eventually, if this breaks above it, I think it can opens a little bit more the room to the upside, which eventually price can go there in that level, right? Maybe price is already there. I don't even know where price is at this point, to be honest. I don't even know why that is not loading. So yeah, right. Price is reacting not from a bad level. Again, kind of it approached all the way through to this close to this support resistance zone, which makes it kind of a good level to start looking for those reversals or kind of some kind of retracement to the upside before maybe continue to move down. Like this definitely would be a natural zone to look for after this move down. How this structure, it looks like as a good level in here. So that's a little bit of what we have in here on the S&P. Let's just jump into NASDAQ. At least we have the real data in here. Now NASDAQ, there were two levels on the S&P that during the non-farm payroll that we're looking for, which kind of to be still at the bottom in here, faking out these lows, or even with the possibility of price still faking out this double low that was in there into maybe that level. Again, I'm still not the biggest fan of where actually these lows kind of are reacting to on the left side. Maybe I'm missing out something in there. Maybe I didn't do as much research as I should, but yeah, personally not the biggest fan. That's why I kind of still looking for potentially that move to happen. This particular case, price kind of created that range and now it's moving higher. So we'll see now with the NASDAQ. I don't know if it is next Friday that starts the earnings season or kind of the week after that, but in October we're going to have earnings season, which is going to be another catalyst for the indices, like, so something to keep an eye on. About gaps, why do they need to be filled? Honestly, man, I'm not really sure into the nuances of why or exactly what's the main purpose of, or if it, you mentioned brokerage, if there are orders left behind, if these institutionals that kind of maybe still want to push price towards there to fill their orders. I don't know, like, I'm not really into the nuances of why it has to happen. What I see it, because it has been like for 10 years noticing that, is that price does like to go into those levels, like, so, and by noticing that time after time after time, it's just something that it's kind of becomes my belief system to see those levels to be reacted from in there, like of fresh levels or zones, important levels that you consider as relevant decision points and something like that. Yeah, those are usually levels that tend to be kind of magnetic for price, and it's just, yeah, if you see something happen many times, I kind of start to believe that happens, right? But why? It's a good question. I don't really know. Yeah, so S&P again, we can continue to go a little bit higher. We're looking maybe for yeah, maybe reaction from here a little bit, but can definitely challenge a little bit more the, yeah, you can challenge the highs again. It's going to be interesting to see. Dow was another one, interesting one. Like it reached basically one of the targets as well, like all the way the base of these lows from those highs. And it was at a really good level. That was an interesting one for me. I did try to go long exactly from this level on Wednesday. Like basically I have this rectangle in here, but the rectangle that I had on Wednesday, this is where I had my order, was in here to try to go long when price kind of was in here. As you can see, price never really reacted from the level that I wanted, which means I missed the entry. And surprise, surprise, right? Yesterday, that's exactly where price went to. Yesterday I didn't try to buy it. I was not paying attention to the Dow in this moment. So yeah, there you go. A few times that this happens. And the level, that's kind of where I'm trying to get in. Price kind of miss it, and then just realize that after a few days or 1 or 2 days, it goes exactly where I wanted in the first place. And then I usually tend to miss this second opportunity. Yeah, just it is what it is. But aside from that, again, similar to S&P, kind of being within this range, now suddenly makes a proper move to the upside, and then kind of goes down, crashes, and reverses. Right? It's a typical reversal pattern in terms of price moving, and usually this move tends actually to be quite aggressive. So news, it's going to be created around news events in here. So that's what we have in here, and we can start maybe moving a little bit higher. Again, it reached a good target, a good zone, basically these lows that created out this move to the upside. So yeah, why not? It reaches target. Basically, if you're selling, if you were any sales from these levels, I think this could be a natural target to look for. If price just wants to go below that, it needs to give us that confirmation by breaking below the lows once again. At this point, it's respecting it, so we can actually maybe start shifting a little bit more to the upside. Now we'll see what's going to happen. Price may challenge all the way until there. There's maybe a few levels in here that price may can react a little bit. So we'll see, right? Can even retest this level one more time, go higher. It's going to be interesting to see what the DAX is going to do. Euro index. Right, so Euro index, same story. It went all the way down. Right, it respected that level on Monday. That was another clue to look for the shorts on euro dollar on Monday. It was Euro index basically reacting from this level of supply and that level, and went all the way down, and it still respected that level. Okay, it's a good low. It's not a bad one. It could go a bit deeper, but that's kind of a good low. Nevertheless, we just managed to break up also this upper trend line, and eventually this level would be about to be broken. Again, breaks a high, retests, goes all the way, retested this basically the demand zone, and is moving higher, and eventually now kind of maybe challenging a little bit his highs before maybe continue to go higher. We'll see what may happen now on the Euro index, right? So that was something else to look for. And then the yen, right? The yen, it was it the BLG? It was not the BLG. Who knows? It was who did the move, but there you go. As soon as dollar yen, as we have been talking about, reached the around 150 mark, there you go. We had a big spike, a big move to the downside on the yen pairs, and a big move to the upside on the yen index. We literally basically reached one of the targets, basically corrected all this compression. It broke above the high, it respected straight away that level, and the spike occurred into actually a natural good zone, which is basically in here. Even as an exercise, I would actually suggest or recommend to actually study where all the lows on the yen pairs, dollar yen, euro yen, pound yen, Aussie yen, and so forth, actually where all those lows reacted from after the news, right? Just to see the levels where it reacted from. Meanwhile, moving to the downside, two levels that we kind of were looking for. One of those would be in here, which price kind of reacted from. That's kind of the base, one of the reasons for me to actually look for those shorts on euro yen and pound yen during the NFP with the target. This was basically everything that I was looking for. I was looking for a potential short on the N pairs towards until kind of this dollar index, this yen index reacts from here, so then price could continue. I wanted to catch this range. It's kind of what I managed to get with the NFP, and there you go. Then continuation to the downside, and now we are challenging these lows once again in here. Right, so basically that's kind of what we have, and we'll see now what's going to happen. The N pairs have been quite bullish yesterday, basically since we had that move. All right, so moving to the individual currency pairs. Euro dollar. All right, so euro dollar, what we have, right? So this was something that you started to pay attention to, like last week as well. And last week, this was the low, and this was the low that I mentioned that I was not really a big fan of it. I think I wanted a new low on the euro dollar. We talked about that. Nevertheless, this was already a break of high for me without price really reacting from this level. So this will be one of those first signs that, okay, we may be actually really close also to potential big reversal from here. Okay, so that will be one of those, because price which you kind of left a little bit of that space in there. So there you go. We had the move to the downside, and we start creating that compression, and price is reacting from a really good level now. Okay, it's reacting very cheap from this daily zone in here. Before that, it was still reacting from these lows, and I wanted really for price to go slightly lower than that, and now it's reacting from here. It's a really good zone where price was reacting from. And that's why we started to look for those longs opportunities. Again, another break of a high in there, and eventually kind of, this was the zone, like it was Wednesday. I waited all morning kind of with you to try to look for the retracements. Price never really retraced. As soon as it kind of created that move, either in here or in there, price never did that retracement, never reacted from here. So it was one of those situations where it just saw euro dollar going away without being managed, without being filled in this position, which on the other side makes it as a fresh zone still for the future. So there's the same story on the dollar index, where we are still considering that high to look for a potential sell. In this particular case, we still have this zone at the bottom on euro dollar to look for a long. So this was another level, one of the levels that it was still possible for a long yesterday. There was two of them. One of them for me, it was in here. This lows never reacted from it, so that was one of them, and the other level, it was in there. Of course, this will be my favorite. We look for a potential long after whenever retracement will happen in here. Now this was a good reaction just around the NFP, again starting to break some kind of lows and good PA in there, and the move to downside. Now it did manage to slightly break below this low. That's kind of something, at least on this server. That's kind of what happened in there, and it's still kind of, again, still within that level, but we did manage to break below that, which kind of interesting. It's kind of interesting, to be honest. But yeah, nevertheless, again, whenever price now decides to come back in here, I'm not going to even be looking for any kind of reaction from here. I'm just going to want to see this double bottom being taken, and yeah, and after that maybe reacting from here. Again, we fake out these lows, which kind of eventually would have been a good entry in there as well. Yeah, somewhere in there after finally taking those highs, and we are here now. Now I'm looking for price to, as I mentioned, basically go higher. A few fresh orders in here. These highs never reacted from here, so it's okay. So let's see how price may react from this structure, and eventually maybe continue to move to the upside, taking these highs, and after that we can try to see what may happen next in here, because there's maybe more room now to the upside as well on the euro after that. Yeah, being this one of the fresh levels as well, we could target. Perhaps we could go eventually, I don't know, somewhere in there. We'll see. Zone by zone, again, no need to look for too much of a level. Big of a zone in here. Even bigger picture, I still would like to see euro maybe retracing a little bit and eventually moving all the way down. Again, even though this is kind of a good zone, eventually I wouldn't mind to see price actually going all the way towards targeting this low. I think this can be kind of a good retracement to happen. There's maybe some structure in there that price could eventually go to. Yeah, we'll see, right? We took definitely a major lows in here, so that's kind of something we had in there. Yeah, so that's a little bit for the euro dollar. Looking for price to just continue eventually tomorrow Monday, continue to the upside. There's maybe something in here again that price could use. Yeah. Pound. Like pound was a bit of the same story as well. Even though kind of I mentioned that it was a bit okay where actually the low was reacting from, like it was somewhere in there, but we mentioned also that there was on the daily time frame there was a zone just underneath that it was quite nice, right? And that's basically where pound eventually went and reacted from. It's actually a really nice zone in there where price reacted from, which is great. Another typical price action, again, before that, what we mentioned also, if you remember last week, the type of behavior that was looking to happen on the pound, it was exactly this. Like I mentioned that I would like to see these highs being taken on Monday, right? And price to kind of to take the highs and then kind of move all the way down. First and foremost, initially just to react from here. But if you actually kind of follow price in here, there was never a need to look for that or kind of to attempt to the long, even if you're considering it, because there was never PA in there. Like even in here, as you can see, price basically respected all the highs, never managed to break it. So if you just wait for confirmation, you wouldn't have the need to look for that long, because price just respected the structure. Therefore, wait for it, let it break, and then you kind of created this range in here. And there you go. Again, on Wednesday, same story happened. Really big move down, spike up. Again, not exactly proper retracement in here. And price just moved higher. And kind of, again, maybe 3 levels to look for. Maybe first in here, then maybe a little bit in there. And then, of course, all the way in there to look for a potential retracement. We had the break of that, reacting from here. Kind of we start now ranging in here. Personally, I thought that this level in here on the pound would go a bit deeper towards this level. Not in here. In here was okay. Basically, this level kind of has been taken. This was the level that on euro dollar still left behind on Thursday, but pound actually went there. But yeah, personally, I would have liked to see this bubble being taken a bit deeper in here before making the move higher and kind of reacting from there. Price didn't do that. It just kind of still remained inside kind of this level, and yeah, that's kind of what we had in there. I think this high actually kind of, if it didn't, it really thought it did. Yeah, maybe it didn't. Maybe it actually respected. So actually going to see kind of maybe slight break of this high to move down and then kind of the continuation to the upside. Now, we do have kind of a little bit of this range in here. This high can be still a little bit of a barrier, but eventually I'm expecting pound to go higher. Or you can just range a little bit. We'll see what's going to happen. Again, we do have this structure in here to see how price may react from on Monday. Bigger picture, again, same story. We did manage to leave these zones behind, which means that there's eventually still a high probability of price retracing. Again, the way price moved higher, it was quite quick. So again, the same way it can happen to the downside. And eventually we would like to go towards one of these two zones in here to take it and now actually take out this triple low and go higher after that. Like, so being aware that there are these levels on the dollar, on the euro dollar, on the pound and so on, there's still the risk, not risk, but there is still a high chance that price eventually can have that deep retracement to come all the way here before making the final big move upwards. Okay, so again, just keep following PA to see if that's about to happen or not. Yeah, so pound in there. Yeah, that's kind of what we have in here. Yeah, euro pound hasn't really moved that much. Been waiting a little bit for price to get a little bit close to this level. Yeah, we'll see if kind of reacting, kind of go higher again, kind of within this range. At this point, nothing much going on in here. Aussie was another one, like something that we started paying attention to as well. Kind of took all these lows. Price now, yes, is reacting from the demand zone, so it finally reached that target that you have been looking for, and could eventually even go there. But at this point, it's finally reacting from that level. Like we've been waiting for it all the way through. Kind of when price was in here or in there, we kind of mentioned, yeah, I still want to see Aussie dollar going a bit lower. Even in here, even though we kind of had that big move upwards, it was still not exactly at the lows, and now it finally reacting from there. So that's it, right? So we may be at this point ready to finally have a reversal on Aussie dollar. Maybe it's just another situation of wait and see. Kind of, we don't really need to be completely illusional of a big move upwards. We can just maybe trade the next range to be kind of this high in here and wait maybe for that high to be taken. There were two levels in here that we were looking for. Yeah, first it was this level. Price kind of respected quite nicely after taking these highs, went higher, we took it again, and this was the other one that was left behind, which is basically the one that price reacted from during NFP. So yeah, those were kind of the two levels that you're looking for within this level. Maybe there's something in there kind of a little bit more than that. Yeah, but this was one of those and this was the other one, and that's basically where price is now. And let's see, again, similar story. Our price may react a little bit from here, and they may eventually create some momentum to the upside in here. We'll see, right? Yeah, we're going to see what may happen in here. Again, with the challenge to go there. In terms of the lows, I'm not the biggest fan of actually how price moved away from here without this kind of structure, but we are at that important level. Now there is maybe one more extra level underneath here into this level that price can eventually fake out all these lows, this above low, and now that low that we created in there. But by any chance, if price wants to make another attempt lower, now I'm going to be looking for those lows to be taken and into that next zone in here. So that's just something to still keep an eye on. Maybe if the dollar index wants to make another attempt higher, yeah, maybe that can happen. Yeah, Euro Aussie is kind of still the same thing. Still want to see price going a bit higher in there. And then we'll see price kind of respected nicely that zone. Lost some audio.
Beautiful.
Okay. Back at it. Okay. There's my headphones just disconnected. Yes, so Euro Aussie. Yeah, maybe a little bit more higher in there. Pound Aussie kind of a bit the same. It's going to be maybe some interesting story, kind of reaction from here or not. We'll see. Like kind of broke that level, kind of respected already in here. It's going to be something just to keep an eye on. Maybe bigger picture can maybe just continue to go higher after kind of reacting from here. So we'll see in there. Interesting one. It was this Aussie yen, right? So, and we can start with the yen pairs from now. So what did you have, right? So we had that, we talked about it and the potential fake out from those highs. And then after that, maybe have a deep retracement. We initially had that fake out first in here and kind of broke that low. So that was something we reacted from that level. So basically took this level from here, compression all the way up, or kind of strong move, and then we have deep turn. Where it will be a target, right? Maybe something in here or the origin. So it's actually interesting to see that we did big sell off on the end. price went all the way to the target. Like it did all the way to the extreme. And where it reacted actually afterwards, where it started to get some momentum again, exactly from the kind of maybe the previous target that price, or the previous one that was still kind of a little bit fresh in there. Meanwhile, complete move to the upside. This is another beauty during the NFP. Right, we managed to take slightly the high, giving indication that we want to go higher. Respect this level, big sell off. Where to? Target, compression, crash zone. Boom, react from there. Continuation, because this one was already in engulf upwards. So continuation to the upside. There's literally more room to go, and yeah, maybe price now is reacting a little bit from this level in here. This was compressed. Maybe price then can eventually challenge a little bit higher. Price can maybe go down first before maybe continue. Alright, so this was one of them. Really nice moves on the Aussie yen in here. Just in terms of perspective, our price is moving perfect. Dollar yen, right? So that was another one. As soon as it got, again, it touched that 150, went a little bit higher, and that's kind of initiated out this big sell-off. Something that you're looking for, price kind of arranging a little bit. First and foremost, where did price went to, right? Remember, I had these levels marked in here. This demand zone, or this level, kind of was one of the ones that were still fresh, and price kind of took the orders from there. After that, compression. Actually managed to break a low in here before it happens, and the sell-off. Target, no surprise. Everything has been compressed. This was maybe one of them as a potential target. Next, below this was, which this one already broke that one, so we are in there. Okay, so maybe that was kind of one of those that maybe price can still maybe use in here. Okay, but there you go. Another one, big move. In terms of targets, again, steady. Why actually price was free to go all the way in there. Meanwhile, it's kind of in the range in here, looking for price maybe to fake out that and go higher. And eventually, it's going to be interesting to see if there's anything in there that can still push price down, or if price wants to fake outside to the high and have that big move to the downside again. Yeah, that's basically what we may have in here. Yeah, that's kind of a good level, and maybe price can actually, especially if it kind of breaks below that, it could initiate a little bit more of a move down, leaving this level still fresh for the future. Basically, dollar yen is the only one that is still kind of far away from the decision point that initiated all this move. All the remaining yen pairs, they have been already overcome that level, right? So Aussie yen was in there. Looking at the euro yen, it was in here. Looking at pound yen, it was in there. So basically, all of these levels have already been taken. It's not confirmed. At least they rejected that the reports. But who else would have done that, right? Who else would have the power to not just affect dollar yen, but also all the remaining of the yen pairs? Right? If this is the if that's a taste of what's about to come, if we get nearby the 150 once again, yeah. But honestly, if it wasn't them, who else, right, would have this power to affect like that in just maybe a couple of minutes, like they did? Yeah, it would be, yeah, to be hilarious. So yeah, nice reaction so far on the yen. Again, question mark how it's going to react from here, if it's going to break, respect, go a little bit higher, and maybe start targeting maybe a little bit more of these levels before maybe moving down. Yeah, it was not in 1 hour, man. It was in 2 minutes. That's the situation. It was not just in 1 hour. Like this, basically the minute candle. I have 1 minute candle in here. Like it's basically not even maybe a minute, it's kind of seconds. If you go to the tick charts, you'll see that's basically in seconds. Yeah, it was funny to watch in there. yeah, so again, it changed all the range. Basically, this is kind of what you're looking for. You can maybe try to trade it in between here. We'll see. The level overall on the left side, it was not a bad one. It was not a... Which one are we talking about? 60, 162. Second. All right, so it's kind of what we have in here. The price is still reacting from here. I actually would have preferred to see price going above it and getting to, I don't know, 160, 150.3 or 0.2 something, right? Instead of where it actually was. So yeah, I wouldn't even discard the scenario of seeing another high on the Aussie, on the dollar yen. Basically, price reacted from here. I wouldn't even mind to see price maybe going slightly higher, to be honest. Into, I don't know, into something more above that. It's just something to keep an eye on the yen. Euro yen. Like, so this was the other one, like a big sell-off. The continuation after kind of retesting that level. And where did it go to? Kind of this mid-range in there, and meanwhile we kind of start breaking above it to the upside. Yeah, so there was this slight zone in there. That's actually kind of where I managed to get the short in here, and the target, again, obvious compression. There's maybe something in here or kind of that demand zone, and price then just continue to move higher, right? Basically, this move in here, it was the same on the N index. That price was going down, respect demand, resell support resistance, and then just continue to move down. And that's basically what price then eventually did. And now it's challenging these highs, and maybe we can finally go navigate towards there. Like, there's maybe still something in here that price could react from, and there is, right? We have this supply level that took a little bit of these highs, but I think eventually could challenge to go a bit higher in there, and maybe there's still something in here also that eventually price could react from. Yeah, it's almost maybe this level. So yeah, eventually I would like to see Euro Yen breaking above these highs and challenging that level in there. Yeah, they did intervene last October, right? That was kind of the first time, because the yen was quite bullish as well, bearish in disguise. The yen was a lot bullish, and they did it. They intervened 3 times last year, right? It was one end of September, if not mistaken. Yeah, on the 22nd was in here, and then there was another one in here, and then there was another kind of 1 or 2 days after that, right? Basically, there was one intervention after another intervention, something like that. It's kind of what they did in here. So this was the not this one. Yeah, this was the first one, and then kind of it was next, and then the next one in there, right? So even last year they didn't manage to do it just at once or at one time. They had to then do it again. Eventually market can call BS for this move, and still going to challenge that level once again in there. Yeah, we basically get the final cost, right? The final bill. Isn't Japan as well one of the highest US debt holders? I think they are. Like, so yeah. Yeah, it's just printing more money in there, right? Basically. Pound yen. Yeah, pound yen kind of similar move. Went all the way, kind of respected, went higher, and now is challenging here, and can maybe go slightly higher. I think the same story with the with euro yen, pound yen could also go slightly higher in there. Dollar CAD, this was another one. This was an interesting one, right? We have been quite bullish. Price opened up quite bullish. It went all the way to the highs. That was something that we were looking for as well. And then after that, it was a nice turn. This was a big miss opportunity there to look for that sell. Yeah, that was a big miss, to be honest. Yeah, so price started to compress a little bit. Again, it created another high, didn't really touch the other zone, and then kind of reacted from it. And then now it broke the structure, which can lead again for another move down on the dollar CAD, and maybe can target a little bit of these levels in here towards there, right? So that's something to keep an eye on in this particular case on dollar CAD, where what you'll be looking for next. Again, kind of range a little bit. Yesterday there was also an employment in Canada, and kind of left a little bit more of those zones still behind. So we'll see where we're going to go next in here, and actually go all the way to below those lows and targeting that level. Yeah, maybe. Yeah, kind of gaining a little bit momentum now to the downside. And the other CAD pairs, that's actually something that I was looking for in here, right? So yeah, that was one of those that I was looking also for a sell. Initially, these highs didn't really react from where I wanted. It's a bit more in here. So this was the first one. That's the kind of next one, maybe in there. And my favorite, it will be Steven for price to take that high in there and then kind of drop after that. So this is kind of the first attempt to go lower, just to basically took some of these orders below that level. Perfect. I would like to see price or euro CAD to continue kind of slow, going higher a little bit more, and maybe eventually from there we could have a bigger reversal from here, right? But we are approaching this level, which can be quite interesting. Price has been bullish for a while, and yeah, maybe somewhere from there can be an interesting sell off. We kind of went a little bit there. I think the range eventually we are going to be looking for price to trade in between this level. Price can eventually still challenge this level in here and go higher. Now taking this liquidity in here and go, right? So that's a little bit of two levels I'm looking for on the euro CAD, which definitely I'm going to pay attention to next week. I think it's going to provide good opportunities. Pound CAD was kind of another one. Pound CAD, we had all this compression here, so basically reaching this target. This was a beautiful level where price actually reacted from that 4-hour time frame level in here, like literally this level of supply. This high never touched it, and basically that's where price reacted to yesterday, just before the NFP. Could have been a good short as well on the retesting there. Managed to break below this low. That's important as well to pay attention to. But overall, in the bigger picture, we may just continue to actually now break above or completely feel this compression and challenge a little bit more that zone. That's maybe a little bit more of what you can look for. Yeah, and eventually you can even target a little bit more in here. So let's see how price may react from here right now. I mean, next week we'll see. Which is going to be interesting as well if you do have more momentum on the pound, on the euro. Usually can help as well these pairs to go higher. Meanwhile, we can actually see CAD moving lower, right? So that's something to look at in terms of the correlation between in the market. Dollar franc Swiss. This was also an interesting one. Kind of it fake out that high and now kind of reacted a little bit more into there. It's just similar to dollar index. Nice reaction from that level, starting to have a typical price action of reversal in here, full of compression that we have shoulder in there. Again, there's still zones in here at the highs that price eventually could go to. This was that mid-range level that we looked for, just similar to dollar index. And dollar franc Swiss also created that mid-range in here level. Like this level supply was fresh, and that's exactly where price reacted to, and then just moved to downside. We broke now these lows, and just similar to dollar index as well, we finally have a negative bearish candle after 12 consecutive 12 or 11. Yeah, after 11 consecutive bullish candles, we finally have a negative one, and we are looking basically for price to fulfill this price. Like that's basically what we're looking for at this point. Price can navigate in between those levels, can literally target all this compression in here. This all can stop in there, so you can target all this compression, can retest a little bit more in there, and eventually go somewhere in here. I wouldn't be surprised if that happens. Mentions in here. Nevertheless, we still managed to have these zones behind in there. If price wants to do some kind of deep retracement, and yeah, looking somewhere in there could be interesting as a level to look for in here. Yeah, so that's a little bit of what we have in this case. So yeah, nice one in here. And gold, yeah, gold was a challenge this week. Trying to catch the move. Like, gold is a textbook of how you can create as much manipulation as possible just to trade a simple double bottom setup. Interesting. Now, price is still respecting all the way this level, so basically still a fresh demand that was still in there. Initially it was respecting this level in here and for 1 or 2 days, and then kind of fake out still that level into here. Didn't manage to break these lows, and yeah, nice reaction from here, right? So it was in there and kind of now is in there. Right, second, yeah, somewhere in there, which is great to see. So yeah, that's basically what we have. Let me just delete this. This was the level that I was mentioning before. But there you go. Like, we had a lot of compression. We start having some kind of range. Initially, we kind of fake out that level. We challenged. We took these highs in here, and then one last fake out just before pushing finally price to the upside, and we finally managed to break above this level. Right. So gold can be also in a potential reversal setup in here. Again, it's a good zone, right? Basically the low that created all this move to the upside. As gold wants to respect this level and just wants to go higher after this, it can. Like, it could do that. At least maybe challenge these levels in here. Could be a potential setup, maybe making the same kind of move that it made in here. It could make in there all the way to 1858. Now, in terms of what we are looking in here, we already had kind of a deep retracement. Again, can go down a little bit more to go higher again. I would like to see kind of another break to the upside, kind of gaining some momentum in this particular point. Yeah, aside from that, a lot of it has been compressed. There's maybe something in there that price can still use it just above this high, and then eventually kind of can go higher and higher in here. So yeah, gold an interesting one as well to look for a potential turn in here as well, right? So that's kind of what we have in there. And then we have oil, right? So this was a big turn. Again, it respected exactly after taking those highs, and after that kind of was basically one of the bearish assets for the week. We are approaching an interesting level, okay, which is going to be somewhere around these lows. Now, we do have prices basically reacting from somewhere in there. I would like to see going a little bit lower and kind of have this level, and then you can look at a little bit more even underneath, like one of these ones in here can also be an interesting zone. So I'm looking for price maybe to get a little bit lower than that. Price is kind of respecting from this demand zone, which is not bad. And eventually you can even have this level in here as well. Can be also quite interesting. Opposite sides in there, right? So yeah, just something to keep an eye on. Yeah, we can have that one. Again, it has been quite bearish. I think there's going to be kind of some kind of retracement. We do have this range in here at this point. Price already reacted from that level. So yeah, let's see. Like, again, lack of demand. Saudi Arabia, Russia, they continue with the same approach with 1 million barrels of US production. Most likely until the end of the year. Even announcing the continuation of that this time didn't really made any impact to the upside on oil. So again, yeah, just negative feeling in general across the market has pushed oil to the downside. Yeah, so we'll see. Eventually the levels in here, maybe something in there. There was kind of a zone behind in there that was left as well. Yeah, before any move up, we can actually go just there, then continue down and challenge one of these two levels, look for some kind of retracement after that. We have this week in here, which I'm not really sure what is it about. If there's anything in here, perhaps there is. Yeah, maybe there's something in there. Yeah, maybe there is. Maybe there's something in there. So yeah, in addition to that one, maybe that one, and then eventually this one is here, and yeah, we'll see. After that, if by any chance we want to go and target all of this and fake out this double O, which can definitely be a possibility, then we are looking for this level, which actually looks quite nice, because in reality, this double O already fake out that level. It's something in here. In reality, this level in here already took that one, but reacted from a good level in there. But there's maybe something in here a bit lower that price can go to in there. Yeah, that's kind of where price is reacting, and then eventually could go. Yeah, just something to keep an eye on oil. Yeah, I want to see how it's going to keep evolving in here. Maybe slowing down, losing momentum, to eventually have that turn. Yeah, I'll definitely keep an eye on this one. I think see more exhaustion in there. Yep, definitely. Yeah, right. So Japan. Yeah, like the like they have a certain power in there that yeah, make them unique in the way the monetary policy that they follow. To finalize with crypto, right? So what we have, like we have the first attempt to go higher. Wait, hold on. Was it this week? Yeah, right. So we went above this level, kind of price respected that level, and that was one of the targets that we were looking for. Not targets, I mean one of the first levels of potential resistance in here. Kind of a little bit similar on BTC, even kind of reacted a little bit from that level, even though there's maybe more room to the upside. This was a key zone in here afterwards, kind of if price would, Bitcoin would continue to respect this level or not. This is a bit of the range that we are now, but I could see going a little bit higher in this particular case, kind of challenging a little bit more to the upside. This is at this point is middle of the range. Yeah, but this level could definitely be something to look to the upside, or eventually kind of price by any chance wants to go a little bit down before going higher. There's still maybe some levels in there that we could try to find out in here. Like yeah, something in there could be a possibility. Yeah, then eventually kind of in there. So we'll see definitely what may happen in here. Yeah, this is kind of a nice zone in there. Yeah, that one is also kind of okay. Basically where price is reacting right now. Yeah, so we are stuck within this range. I wouldn't mind to see breaking to the upside, to be honest. And I think that may be the probability to go a bit higher in here. Ethereum a bit more to the downside. So we took that high, like we kind of opened the door to go higher. Now you came all the way to test the demand zone, and I think price, or I wouldn't be surprised now if price by any chance wants to go higher from here and eventually kind of challenge it and go there. Okay, so I wouldn't be surprised if that would happen in here. Yep, why not? Yeah, Savannah, kind of a little bit more of the same. This wall was not broken, so we keep holding it there. Do have a little bit higher than that. yeah, we'll see. We'll see if by any chance crypto is gaining momentum or not at this point to the upside, which could start to build up towards that direction, and looking for price to fill now the upper zone of this range, which will take us towards there eventually. So that's just something to consider. Yeah, we'll see how price may react from this range. Yeah, a bit more bullish to see price going to the upper zone in there. Yeah, that's basically it, guys. Again, a lot of moves in the market. It's going to be interesting to see straight away on Monday or beginning of the week if the dollar is going to be able to manage to break these lows, or by any chance is going to keep respecting them and pushing a little bit more to the upside. If it breaks below these lows, I would extend this level kind of towards that zone in here, paying attention to after breaking these lows if there's a reaction straight away. But I'll be looking or expanding this level to something like this. Yep, almost immediately. Now, doesn't mean that price will just go towards that level in a straight line to the downside. It could retrace after that, right? That's something to keep an eye on. The indices also can start to be a bit more bullish, and gold also, it's going to be interesting to see gold if it's going to go higher from there, and oil eventually, yeah, eventually looking for some kind of reaction a bit more to the upside, and eventually some kind of range hopefully to look at in here. Yeah, that's a lot of what I'll be looking for this next week, and you'll see where we're going to be when CPI data is out, which, not mistaken, is going to be Thursday. Yeah, Thursday 1 p.m. Yeah, aside from that, not many news. Right, thank you guys. Again, Seb, nice to see you, man. It's been a long time. David, again, thank you so much for being here and the support. Anyone else, also thank you for taking the time. I'll see you next week. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Okay, have a nice weekend and good trading. Bye bye.